All right, well, I'm all done with Growler number 117. I just have her up on the lift here just to check one last thing before it ships out. The transportation's all set up to ship this thing back to the East Coast to the owner. He bought it from somebody locally down here in San Diego, asked me to pick it up and go through it for him so that when he gets it, all he has to do is just turn the key and this thing will run for him. So he's got a lot of different vehicles, pretty cool collection from what I've seen so far. I think he's really gonna love this one. So here's a few of the things that I did. I did the CV boots all the way around, did all 4 axles. Changed the fluid in both differentials. Let's walk around this way. Airbags. This airbag here, I thought I was done with this thing. I was almost done, and then I realized, I looked down one day and this airbag grew a big bump on it. It was getting ready to blow out. So I did all 4 airbags on it for the suspension. The owner, well, the guy that he bought it from, he put 2 brand new drive shafts on here. He had them built by a company down in San Diego, down in El Cajon, East County drive shaft, because the guys at Gov Planet, when they lifted this thing up to move it around their yard, they destroyed the pans. The pans were totally destroyed. They bent both drive shafts. So he had these made and they actually beefed them up. They're a little thicker wall tubing than the original. One thing I didn't get for this were the skid plates. I've talked to a couple different guys about them. I think I did find a set finally. But I won't get them in time to get them on before it ships. So when I do locate them, I can just ship them out to the owner and he can find a shop out there to put them on. They're not that hard to put on. It won't take a rocket scientist to do that. Let's walk around the back, or go around the sides here. I was able to secure all 4 of these center caps. This one's not perfect. This one's got a little tweak to it, but the other 3 are in really good shape. I was able to buy those off of a couple guys on the Growler forum. Bought 2 from one guy and 2 from another guy. As far as the rear steering, I cut the locks out. They had welded these things more than I've seen on any of them. These things were just a massive, ugly gob of weld. Looked like a turkey was parked up above there for a couple of days, on a roost. But I cleaned it up as good as I could. I mean, it's not pretty, but at least it's something you don't see. And I painted it, added some of the Kark 383 green to the, just to clean that up and make it look better. The rear steering unit was missing some bolts. I replaced the bolts. Let's walk around a little bit. I guess that's about it for what's on the lift. Let me go ahead and lower it down and then we can go over the rest of what I did to it. Okay, now that it's back on terra firma, starting the engine compartment. I had actually write a list because there was a lot of small stuff I did to this thing. The hood strut was bad, so the hood would just kind of flop around. If there was any wind at all, it'd just blow the hood right back down on you. So I replaced the hood strut. Fan belt was starting to shred. It was probably the original belt, so I changed that. Did an engine oil change, got the oil filter. Successful in buying these things in Germany and the UK. You can also buy them at Napa, but they're like about 50 bucks from Napa. I get them a little cheaper from the Europe. Fuel filter, change a fuel filter. Notice there's no hand priming pump. That was missing. I didn't bother to put one on there because that hand priming pump that comes on this it's virtually useless. I have a really good trick for priming these after you change a filter. I won't bother with this, put it in this video, but one day I'll make a video soon showing how to do that. The next time I change one, I'll do that. It makes it real easy to prime. And the switch here for to turn on the cooling fan the stud was broken on top. So I pulled it out. I couldn't find numbers on it, but I just did some searching online looking for switches for electric fans, and I found one, and actually when I got it, it was the exact same switch. It's made by Spall. It was pretty cheap. It just had to make sure I had the right cut in and cut off temperatures, which is pretty standard. And then this sensor here was bad. The wires were cut right off the end of it, and all that was here was just the Deutz connector hanging over here. So I pulled it off. I found numbers on it. I haven't ordered one yet. I just swapped it with mine. I took the one off of my Growler and put on here just to save time, because I just haven't had time to sit down and track down that sensor yet. I believe what this is for the glow plugs for the engine, so it's sensing the air inlet temperature. I'm not positive about that, but I think that's what it's for. And then coming around the other side, the gauges won't work. Some of the gauges won't work. One of them was the engine oil pressure. So down here, if you look down here below the turbo, right above the starter, you'll see a sensor right here on the side of the block. That's the engine oil pressure. It was just, the wire was broken, so I just took the terminal off with the sensor, crimped a new ring tongue on there, hook that back up. That works fine. One thing to test on these is the wastegate valve. Some of them are frozen up. I've got the 1163 outside and it's frozen up on there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. Got to figure out what I'm going to do. But this one here works fine, and you can even hear it working when you run it. You could hear the turbo kind of come in and come off. It had a burned out headlight. That was no problem. I went down to O'Reilly's, picked up a bulb for that. That was no big deal. As far as the mirrors, both of his mirrors were missing. The brackets were there, but the mirrors were gone. So I had 2 used ones here in my shop, and they're really good shape. They're off of a Growler. So I put those on, made them a good deal, just some used parts I had. And then coming around to the cab. Okay, one thing I did is I installed an ignition key for him. He wanted to keep the start switch original, just, you know, he likes to keep his stuff as original as he can. So we added a switch over here, an ignition switch that he can, you know, it's got a key for it. You can just shut it off. Once it's shut off, then it renders this no good, so you can't start it. So it's a good little interlock switch that I put on for him. Going over here to the rear steer, the joystick for the rear steering was just tweaked. It was bent up, the rubber was peeled off. So I took this off, took it apart, and I found the exact switch for it. I was able to buy the whole switch assembly to put inside of here, so I didn't have to spend $1,000 or whatever they want online for this whole unit. I just bought this switch here. I think it was like, if I remember right, it was about $75 or something like that. It wasn't that bad. Okay, windshield wiper blades, I changed those. It just takes an 11-inch standard windshield wiper blade, no big deal. Center console, he had the shark fin thing sitting here. It's partially a gun rack, and it's also the mount for the comm units. But without the comm units on there, that thing is just an elbow breaking unit on there. So I took it off at his request. He saw that I did that to mine, and I made a flat plate for it. Put the stainless steel screws in it. Back in it, just painted it to 383 green. That came out really good. So now he's got a spot for his ice chest. He's got a spot for whatever he wants to set there. He could put a console there or something, like drink holder if he wants. It's a lot better than the other one, because that other one is going to hurt when you hit your elbow on that thing. A lot of the screws on the dash, in fact, the riv nuts for the rear steer control were all screwed up. They were all broken out. A bunch of these were broken out. They've just gotten rusted up or something like that, and the screws broke off. You can see somebody did some prying on here. They're probably trying to get some tension on there to get this to unscrew. I just went in with my die grinder, cut all that stuff out. I replaced the riv nuts and replaced all the missing screws. Ace Hardware by me has these stainless steel screws, they're correct thread and everything, so they match right, they match perfectly. So I've got that all cleaned up. It's all bolted down correctly. The center tunnel, all these bolts were missing. One of the nut, like the slide-on nut things, was missing. I was able to get one of those, put all new hardware in there, so that's all bolted down now. And then let's go to the roll bar and stuff. So when I had Growler number 110 in here, I took some precise measurements of this bar, because it had this bar on it, and it had the full canvas top for it. So I made up a drawing of this. I was able to take it down to this off-road shop over here in Marietta called Steel Nuts, N-U-T-Z. These guys are great over there. I think it took them 3 days from the time I talked to them and I had these things. They made me 4 of them. And so I made them as exact as we could. I even put the bushings in the top, that they have in the original ones for the gun ring. And I mean, they're exact replicas. The only thing, one thing they don't have, I didn't bother to put the bracket on the other side over there because they have like a shock that goes down in here, so that when they have the weight of the 50 cal up there, when they're lowering the thing down, it's like a gas adjust shock, so it just helps you to push it back up, helps it to control going up and down. There's no reason to have it because we don't have a 50 cal ring on here. That thing just sticks out. It's something you're going to bump into, so I just didn't bother to put that on there. And then I got a hold of this upholstery guy local to me here in Marietta, Caesar, I think it's Caesar's Upholstery. You can find him on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description to him and as well to Steel Nuts, just to thank these guys for what they did for me on making this stuff. I made 2 tops for this. I made a tan one, and then I also made this military green one out of some military tarp material that I bought. And he did a beautiful job on this thing. We didn't use the turn buttons. We used snaps instead. At the front, we rolled it around and put the snaps on the inside so the windshield comes up and they tension up against it to help just to keep the air so you don't have that air coming underneath and buffeting it. And as far as on the sides, we don't have we didn't put the turn buttons on the side. We just made pockets for these bars to go through. I also had to fabricate these bars as well. I was able to source these, the push button lock things and everything too. So try to keep it as original looking as I can, even with something that I kind of can't do original. You know, because originally these just have a top that goes here, goes to this bar and down. And then if you have the back canvas, you have the top that goes from here to here, but it also has a side canvas and stuff. And if you don't want the side doors, you don't want all that stuff, you're kind of stuck. You can't really use the original. So this is, I think, a really good solution to have shade over all 4 seats, even a little protection from maybe some light rain or something like that, where, you know, in case you live somewhere where you get rain off and on. So that came out really good. Okay, let's move to the back. This deck lid was missing. I happened to got lucky and I got one of the auctions at GovPlanet for it was still too much, but it was a lot cheaper than most of them. And this was in there. And so it worked out perfect. I was able to sell this to them to put on there so that we have a, you know, the correct cover over it. Okay, I just pulled the battery cover off so we can see inside here. So these batteries were just laying in here. They had no hold down bracket on there. I was able to source a hold down bracket from one of the guys on the Growler forum. The hold down bolts, those are easy to find. They're just a few bucks at the auto parts store. I made all new battery cables out of 2-out battery cable, out of 2-out copper cables, all new ends on them. I fixed a bunch of leaks down in here. I fixed the problem with this thing. This thing had a problem where the rear suspension, after about 2 days, would be sagged down. The front stayed up, the rear sagged down. So I found a solution to that. I found out what's causing that. If you want to know, you can send me a message and maybe I'll respond and let you know. One of my little trade secrets, I guess. Got a new air filter for the air compressor. Every one of these that I've got worked on, that filter is just gone. It's just decomposed. It's hard as a rock. Chunks falling off of it. Pieces getting in the compressor. So I've got a good source for those. A filter that I like to put on there. A good washable filter. Here's a main air supply. I changed it because it had a lot of problems. It was kinked over. It had a real bad kink in it, and it was leaking at one end. I had to change this fitting here because it was bad. That fitting was leaking. So I got that all straightened up. Got all the air system and the battery stuff and all that straightened up. As far as some of the electrical in here, as well as with the batteries, you can see this breaker here. The bracket, the mounting part's a little bent for it. That's not a big deal. But there's a few of these in here, and one of them deep down inside here, it was all screwed up. It was blown out. So I sourced that. Big thing on finding those is just finding the right amperage that you need. You know, I think it was a 40 amp, 424 volts. So I was able to find that, and I fixed that. All right, and then coming down around the side over here, you can see one of my new airbags. Beautiful. Down on the bottom of the tank over here, you come over here on the side where the muffler is. They have stock comes with a tank drain for the air tank, and it's, you know, just a petcock type that you unscrew. And every one I've worked on, they've been so corroded up I can't even open them with pliers hardly, and it's a pain in the butt. So what I did is I just put one on here with a cable. So you just pull on the cable and you can drain the air out. It has an air dryer system on it, so it shouldn't really get a lot of moisture, but it still might. So it's a good idea just once a month or something like that, just to come over here and just grab that cable and just let a little bit out. So that's one thing that I added to it. So this Growler is done. It's ready to ship back to the owner. Al, I really appreciate you putting confidence in me to work on this for you. I hope that's what you want. It's going to start, it's going to run, it's going to drive, everything's going to work correctly on this thing. You know, I didn't fix blemishes on it, stuff like that. I figured that's up to the owner. As far as, you know, the way I like them to have a little battle scars on them. I like them to be used, you know, I like that you can see that it was used for something. You know, who knows where these scrapes came from? Maybe these scrapes came from something they were doing in battle. I don't know. To me, that's providence in the thing. That's history in it. I know some guys like them cleaned up, some guys polish them up, and that's fine too. That's great. But that's just not what I do. I fix things. I'm not a body guy. I'm not a paint guy. So this is how it goes back to the owner. So it should be good for many years of jumping in it and driving it around town and doing whatever you want to do in it. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. Please click like. That really helps getting the like count up. Share the video with friends if you know anybody that'd be interested in watching this kind of stuff. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when videos like this come up. I don't put videos up on a regular basis, I don't do them every week like some people do. I just do them as I can get the stuff done. So hitting that notification bell will help a lot so that you don't miss anything. So anyways, thank you for watching and have a good day. Thank you.